Hello, and welcome to our lesson on arrays and loops. You should have already completed the do now. If you haven't, please pause this video and work on the do now. We're going to work on it together. So our directions are update this code so that it displays the best serial. What do you think is happening in this code? So here we have a list of cereals. And then we have the best cereal, which is Frosted Flakes, which is actually the right answer. But there's some other great cereals here as well. And one of those, probably the second best, is Frosted Mini Wheats. Okay, so I'm going to try to figure out how to get Frosted Mini Wheats. I see it's in this array. And it's the second and last one. I'm going to try to figure out how many elements are in this array with a little trick that we'll learn more about later. So I can pick the second to last one, 12. All right, so I am going to, instead of 0, I'm going to actually do 10 for my best cereal, and that should give me Frosted Mini Wheats as the best cereal. Okay, so that's what I do now. We're gonna figure out how that worked right now. Together, we are going to read the objective for today's lesson. Coders will use arrays and loops to build an interactive website. Vocabulary is arrays, loops, for of, index, iteration, dot length, and dot push. So we kind of went over to do now. What do you think is happening in the code? Right? Think about that as we go through this lesson. So far we've worked with 2 data types, right? We have our numbers and our strings. We've used variables in the past to store these. So today we're gonna learn about another way to store these data types, and that is through arrays. So an array is a special data structure that allows us to store multiple values in a single variable. So instead of declaring 3 variables, serial 1, serial 2, and serial 3, we can declare 1 variable, cereals, and store all those different values in that 1 variable. So an array element is each individual value in an array. So in this example, the array elements are 100, 90, and 80, okay? An array index is the location of an array element, all right? So we have Joe Liz at 0, the index of 0, Eliza at the index of 1, Alex at the index of 2, Janelle at the index of 3, and Peter at the index of 4. To retrieve something from an array, you have to use the array name, in this case is teachers, and the array location, or the index. So to retrieve Joe List, we would have teachers, the square brackets to denote the array, and 0. To retrieve Eliza, we have teachers, square brackets, 1. Okay? What is the value at array index number 1? Okay, we just went over this, and you know it's Eliza. Okay? What's the value at array index number 3? Okay, the correct answer is Chanel. All right, so let's practice using arrays in this guided practice. All right, so we are going to adjust the code for questions 1, 2, 6, and 7. So the answer section matches the question section. Okay, and we're going to adjust the rest of the code. For the independent practice, you will adjust the rest of the code so the answer section matches the question section. So 1, 2, 6, and 7. All right. So here we have 2 blind mice on the left. On the right, it says 3 blind mice, okay? So we're just gonna adjust this and change it to 3. There we go. For 2, on the left, it says peanuts. On the right, it says peanut butter, okay? So in order to do this, let's see. There it is, right. Now for 6, we want it to say first, middle, last. Question 6. It says first, middle, last. We want to say middle, okay? So first is index 0, middle is 1. Okay? And for 7, it says 3. We actually want to say 4. So we're going to change this to 3. And bada bing, bada boom. All right? You can pause this video and work on your independent practice. Okay, welcome back. We're going to go over loops now. We're going to go over for up loops. For up loops allow us to iterate over elements in an array. So loop through an elements in an array and do the same thing to each element in an array. So iterating over an array means selecting individual elements from an array one at a time. So for example, we have this lovely Instagram page to the right that displays these dogs. So one can guess in this code, they're iterating over an array of these pictures or objects and displaying them in a certain way, right? So that's what they're doing. So this question asks, how do you think they're doing that? So, right, so they probably have an array of dog pictures and maybe other information about these dog pictures. And they're using a for of loop or some type of loop to iterate over that array of pictures and display it and style it all in the same way. So here is what a for of loop looks like in JavaScript, right? So we have the keyword for, we have the parentheses, and that parentheses declare a variable called picture, and of picture of photo URLs, which is our array name, and then in the body we have an act that occurs, right? So in this case, we're appending to the body an image with image from this array, which is probably some picture URLs to the page. So let's go over each part. We have the array name, for of keyword, array element. All right, so the array element is both in this kind of setup and in the body. So we're using the array element to do things. The code that we want to execute each time and an element is selected from the array goes in the curly braces. And you are very used to that, right? You do it for lots of things. So here we have an array called array name, not the best array name. So then here's the syntax again. Keyword, declare a variable, decide a kind of variable name, and then loop over the array and have some action occur on that variable name. All right, so let's practice this, okay? Get some practice in. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes you better. Repetition is the father of learning. Repetition is the father of learning. See how I said that twice? Gotta repeat it. Okay. So we're going to use a loop to append all the mountain names to the web page. So we have an array of mountain names, an array of elevations. So you're going to append the elevations in your independent practice. So here we have highest mountain peaks. We're going to append our mountains to this H2 tag. Let's do that. Okay. So first I need what? Keyword, right? Then we have some syntax. Then what I do next? Okay, I need to declare a variable. Call it mountain of what? The array name, right? All right, so that array name is mountains, lowercase. And we want to append it somewhere, okay? And I set the H2, let's see if that works out right. So we're gonna append that to the page. So let's use a paragraph tag, all right? And then we use string interpolation and concatenation. Let's try string interpolation. So I haven't used that in a while, so I gotta remember how to use it, right? So I'm going to definitely need some backticks. Okay. So I spelled mountains wrong. And there we go. Here are our mountains. Looks like appended to this to both H2s, right? So let's just have it to append to mountains. Okay. There we go. Look at that. And now you're going to apply the same logic to your independent practice. So make sure you pause your video and do that. Okay, welcome back. We are going to work on our project. You see this nice, juicy, lovely, cheesy, pickly, saucy, sesame burger. Ah, looks amazing. All right, so we're gonna build a mini project that allows you to look at this burger all over and over, okay? So we're gonna build a photo gallery, okay? You can you'll be able to add new pictures of your favorite foods to this photo gallery. All right, so let's add another one of my favorite foods, which is ice cream, right? A lovely, lovely dessert that everybody loves. And let's pick a beautiful picture. This one looks great. Right here, we're gonna copy the URL here. And then we're gonna paste it in here. And let's see if it pops up. Bam, the app works. So this is our nice Instagram right here, okay? So you're gonna build the same type of app. Think about what you know and don't know about how to build this project, all right? But luckily you have a lovely project plan that we've built for you, so you can just focus on coding and getting the stuff on the page, all right? So as a user, your users should be able to see the photos displayed in a uniform way. Should be able to add images to the gallery and should be able to want to see that the old images were not replaced by new ones. So those burgers shouldn't go anywhere, okay? So make sure you are brainstorming about the theme of your photo gallery. Got a wireframe for you and also this logic. Right? So make sure you fork your starter code. Make sure you fork your starter code. Make sure you fork your starter code, okay? Make sure you fork. Once you do that, pull it into Glitch. Take a look at your starter code. Make sure you review it. Make sure you review your README. And then it's off to the races. If you get stuck, there's some hints along the way. And you always know what to do. Use your reference table. Use Google. Use a friend. All right? Get started on that project and have a wonderful day.